I am recording though, so.
You are. You started already. Good, I was about to make an embarrassing confession.
Say it.
Dude. We gotta roll.
Clown school.
Clown. You're a clown. Clown. That was an awful movie. It Chapter 2. It was terrible.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't waste your time on the remakes. Or the original. Anyway. Welcome into Just a Tip, where we will give you movie reviews and fantasy football knowledge. A podcast where we give just our tips on fantasy football. It is your choice to take our tips or reject them, slap them away, and hopefully you do better, but you most likely won't. Because we had a pretty stellar week, didn't we, boys? Ryan the Tagless Haynes, how you doing, man?
Hell yeah, I'm doing great, man. Big fantasy week this week. Very satisfied.
Oh, yeah. You always leave me satisfied.
I took a couple of Kyle's tips, actually, that really seemed to help me out. So I added some Raiders this week that seemed to work.
Kyle, the utility player, filling in for Regan, who is off because family is more important than us, apparently. I don't get that.
What's up with that?
Send him some hate mail. I don't get it, but thanks for stepping in, man. I am Mac, Disfatt-Bidge. I am not friends with Kyle after this weekend. I owe him wings. Miami tried to make a comeback. They tried taking away at the beginning, and then they just... The dumbest call I've ever seen. Not really the dumbest call. Dumbest throw I've ever seen for that safety. Throwing a Waddle in his own end zone.
Loved it.
Did you see it, Ryan?
Absolutely loved it.
I did not see that. No, I didn't watch any of that game. As I said, I'm committed to.
You didn't miss anything.
It was an amazing game to watch.
Yeah.
It literally had me on the edge of my seat. I was
It looked pretty shaky for you at the beginning, and then after that safety, I'm like, nope, all right, here it goes. Anyway, Brissett throws out to the left to a bubble screen to Waddle in his own end zone and gets tackled for a safety when they're back on their own 1 yard line, and there's a guy wide open in the middle.
I was screaming. I was absolutely screaming.
But enough about that. People didn't come to listen to that.
No, it was awesome.
No, we're done.
Keep talking about it.
No more about that.
Can you at least give us the final score?
You won in overtime against a backup Brissett.
A better quarterback than you usually have.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, at least he put up numbers.
Yeah, at least his O-line actually blocked for him a bit. Anyway, with that, we are going to get into the recap for Week 3. It is, what day is it today? God, September 27th, 2021. Monday, we are recording before the Monday night game between Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. So as we recap this weekend, keep in mind those players have not played yet, so all our rankings are subject to change. So just keep that in mind. But with that, Ryan, do you want to get into our Hurt Locker, where we find out who got hurt over the weekend, who's injured, who's dying, or do you want to get into the news? Or do you want to get into Haynes' briefs?
You know what? Let's get into the Hurt Locker. I might tear up a little bit here. It's a very raw subject. I think just about every one of these guys I had going in one fantasy lineup. So
terrible.
Maybe not the top guy.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Is this drop gonna get old? Let us know.
I didn't think you were gonna play the drop, dude. I started going into it.
I was waiting for a break, and then there was a little bit of one. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you're watching us on YouTube at Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon podcasts as well. Follow our socials at Just a Tip FFP, where we let you know injury updates. If you're following, I let you know about Darrell Henderson stepping out and Dalvin Cook. Hopefully, you add Alexander Madison. We'll get into that later. But the Hurt Locker, where you have our injury report. All the guys in the locker crying for their mamas. What happened, Ryan? Who's hurt?
All right, so I'll start with the softer one. Quentin Nelson sprained ankle, so the guard for the Colts seems to be having a tough not off season, but tough season overall. Had the foot injury early on, came back, and now high ankle sprain. So he's going to be out for a little while. Christian McCaffrey goes down Thursday night. We talked about that mid podcast. It seems like he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Going to avoid an IR stint, at least for now. They're hoping to have him back before a 3-week mark. So that was crushing to a lot of fantasy players. AJ Brown goes down with a strained hamstring. Week to week right now. Probably looking like similar timeline to CMC. Both of those guys in my lineup, both of those guys went down early. And then the guy who went down the earliest, James White, also in my lineup here. Hip injury follows suit with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Mech, what's it called again?
The Hurt Locker.
Dysplasia.
Hip dysplasia. So it's like a...
I don't know. I don't think that's what it's called.
Yeah. No, it's not dysplasia. I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Isn't that a Disney movie?
Yeah, Fantasia. James White went down for the Fantasia.
No, he did.
Hip injury.
It's like a partially dislocated hip. It sucks. It hurts. And yeah, he's going to be out for a while. So, JJ Taylor time? Ramondre Stevenson come back? We'll see what happens. The Patriots are a mess, just like I told you guys. Their defense is not good, and their whole offense needs to get Trent Brown back. I can't believe one guy missing on the line, and it's all falling apart. So,
I also know. Sorry to cut you off there, Mac. Juju Smith-Schuster also went down yesterday as well. I haven't seen any reports on him as far as timeline as of yet. And they already have Deontay Johnson, who was ruled out for this game, who might miss another week. So just something to keep an eye on there as well.
And Big Ben is just old and fat and can't move. So, yeah. Start the defense against the Steelers. That's what I learned over the weekend. Don't start the Steelers defense. Anyway, let's say we get into a little bit of news. So let's get into your briefs. Quick, small brief.
And I got news for you.
What do we got?
So a couple pieces of news today. Josh Gordon is going to sign with Kansas City after being reinstated back into the league. And then big trade today. Dan Arnold shipped to the Jacksonville Jaguars for 2020 first round pick cornerback CJ Henderson. So what do you think? Dan Arnold now? Is he in the running? Tight end 1?
Well, Urban Meyer was trying to use O'Shaughnessy or O'Shag Hennessy. And then when he went down, they needed a tight end. So, yeah, if you are struggling with your tight ends, which we'll get into them later, he might be a valuable pickup. Well, valuable, but a valuable streaming option. I'm not saying long-term, but in the right spot, yeah, keep an eye on him in a couple weeks.
Good
what
call.
Do you think? Think it's worthless or no?
I mean, I haven't really followed up my CJ Henderson knowledge, so I don't know how good of a player he's turning out to be. Obviously, trading away your first-round pick from last year is a pretty significant move to make for
well, he's a corner,
kind of
and Urban Meyer doesn't like defense. Yeah, he's a corner, and Urban Meyer doesn't like defense, so that's fine. I'm saying their tight end production. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it goes up.
We'll see, man. Kyle, you have an opinion on that? Oh, don't care. Anyway.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. For the quick
so salty.
Now we get into week 3.
Put a little of that salt in my wings, if you don't mind, please.
That's a good call.
So we made a bet. I owe you Boneyard Wings, not a sponsor. Kyle, what flavor are you going with?
Ooh, the Dragon Breath, but not the spicy one. The one that
Dragon's
has
Play.
Yeah, that
one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Still like a Chipotle ranch.
It's delicious.
You're used to that anyway. It's fine. It's worth it.
Ooh.
Tell that to your fantasy
team.
I'm
saying he eats a lot of wings. That's all I'm saying. He eats a lot of wings. A lot of spicy food.
Tell that to your fantasy team.
This is going to be interesting
That's-
tonight, boys.
That's the double whammy here.
Yeah.
Kyle is kicking my ass in fantasy. So I got Jalen Hurts and Amari Cooper going tonight, so we'll see.
Do you want dessert too? Because I'm beating you in picks.
No. Yeah, pick'ems. I couldn't reset my picks, so this week sucked.
Tied for first right now, baby.
There you go. Good for you. Who you going with tonight?
I can't tell you that. Secret information.
Okay.
Dallas, baby. Dallas. Come on.
All right. You're gonna lose that one then.
I don't think so.
No way.
All right. We'll see. And with that, we'll get into the week 3 recap. We're just gonna highlight, the top ranking players from each position, PPR format, 4-point passing touchdown. So just keep that in mind. And then highlight some players that we might have a problem with, who are underperforming, surprising us, stuff like that. We'll get into the fairway and the rough as well. So with that, we'll start with the quarterbacks here. Number 1, surprise, surprise, Kyle. Josh Allen. Look at that, 45 points, dude. 4 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. Insane.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
boy Justin Herbert, number 2 right now, 38 points. Look at him, 4 passing touchdowns. He looked good, man. He looked really good.
Lights out.
Yeah, and you started him against me, right? So yeah, that sucked.
Of course.
Matt Stafford, Regan's boy, another 4 touchdowns. He had 37 points, and then this guy. Been telling you guys to pick him up, but we'll get into it next episode. Kirk Cousins, he went off for me. Probably the one league that I'm going to win this week. So good for him. I'm trying to find my tab. And then Patrick Mahomes, wow, he sucked. 30 points. He threw 2 picks. Their defense was good. I don't know if you watched that game, Ryan, but their strategy with him, they just frustrated them all day. That was a pretty impressive win by the Chargers there. All right, Ryan, you have any players that you want to highlight here? Some top performing guys?
Yeah, I think Josh Allen listened to our podcast the last couple of weeks. I've really been talking about how he's in the rough, even though he's been putting up okay stats. He hasn't been at the top of the list, and sure enough, this week he's quarterback 1, 45 points, huge game. And yeah, Pat Mahomes, QB 5. What the heck, man? Like 30 points, that's just not going to do it. It's not going to do it.
Yeah. Oh my God, so bad. 30 points. Then Tom Brady, he had 30 points too. I benched him for Hurts tonight, so Hurts better do better. Kyle, go ahead. Highlight your boy. Your boy.
I don't even think I did you talking about Herbert or Carr? Because I didn't even do the on Carr.
Yeah, no, I wrote up Herbert, but yeah, Derek Carr.
You wrote up
26
Herbert?
points.
I wrote that.
I talked on Herbert. I'm sorry. You want to talk about Herbert?
Stepping
Go
all
right
over
ahead.
me. Whatever. Herbert just needed to throw touchdowns, and that's what he did this week. He passed for over 300 yards the first 2 weeks. He threw touchdowns this week. That's all that mattered. Derek Carr, obviously, another overtime game, another game where he's throwing the ball a lot. But they actually did have a run game, so he kept it even, a little bit lower on the list, but still good.
Yeah, he 2 touchdowns, 386 yards through the air. But look at this, 2 carries for -2 yards. Wow, that sucks. Huh?
Yeah, that's a tough
not a
one.
running quarterback.
Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins are being consistently in this top tier category, top 10 quarterbacks. So I wouldn't have thought that at the beginning of the year. That's for sure.
Nope, I wouldn't. But Vikings defense is not as good, so they're gonna have to pass. And then Oakland, their defense is pretty good though. So I don't know. Like Kyle said, maybe they get the running game going more, and he won't have those boom weeks again. We'll see. Taylor Heineke, man, he's made it to the top 10. Number 8 here, gross game. 2 touchdowns. We edited that out. 2 picks. Wow, that sucked, huh? And Sam Darnold, number 10, 25 points. Guy that's surprising me here, Joe Burrow. 14 completions, and he makes number 11. It was a bad week for quarterbacks, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to some the limp. That was our hard performing players, our limp players here. Who do we got? Justin Fields, 3 points. I hope Regan. I meant to ask him if he started him. He said he wasn't going to, but he likes him a lot.
He did not start him.
Okay,
I confirmed that, and I think I talked him out of it. I was like, you got to see one.
Yeah.
And
he was.
And it's the Bears who just like rifle through quarterbacks. So you could put God in there and it might not go right. I mean Tom Brady, whatever. It might not.
You repeat yourself. And then, come on, Ryan, Zach Wilson.
Zach, he's limp biscuit, man. That guy is limp every week. What's he got? 1 touchdown and 7 picks now? 8 picks?
Yeah, he's going to start doing Viagra commercials at this rate.
Definitely.
I don't want to talk about it.
He's going to be the before guy, and then Tom Brady's going to be the after guy.
25 years his senior.
Rookie quarterbacks. How many starting rookie quarterbacks have won this year?
How many have won?
Yeah.
Just Mac Jones. Yeah.
Mac Jones. That's it. It's a bad year for rookie quarterbacks.
Against another rookie, too. So
someone
had to come out.
The only way. Yeah. So somebody would have to be out on top. Rumors are it's Zach Wilson's mom that likes that, but hey. I think you're right in here. Never start a rookie on his first start, or was that you, Kyle? For Justin Fields.
I mean, I told Matt that, and then he wrote it in the doc. So
and he wrote it.
Yeah, so
he's copying you.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone's just taking your tips, Kyle. Man, it's really working out for him.
I give him out. I got him. Give him.
This pretty good.
He did come up with this clever part in his own that Justin Tucker almost outkicked Justin Fields' passing yards in 1 kick. So
did he almost? I think he did though.
No, he had 68 passing yards and the kick was 66. So it was very, very close. Kudos to Matt. Very clever of a write-up.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, very clever. So clever. How
many times did you get sacked this week? Sorry to interrupt. How many times?
10,
like 7?
10? It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you might have broken a record there.
For a guy who's mobile, I don't even know how that happens. You just throw it away.
The game's just too slow for him. He didn't,
That's true.
It's too slow for him. Okay.
Remember he said that in preseason? He's like, it's really slow.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yep.
It's different when you're going against starters and not the guys that are being cut.
Yeah.
One more guy here, Jared Goff. Remember how I said he's worth picking up and starting? That was fun. 9 points. Let's edit that out. Go back and delete that episode. All right.
But a game that they should have won. It was the closest game that they've had so far. So.
Yeah, I mean they should have won because I guess they missed the delay of game on that previous play or something, and should have moved them out of field goal range. Whatever.
Should have already been out of field goal range.
I mean, Marquise Brown should have caught those touchdowns as well. So.
Baltimore keeping it close though, every single week so far.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah.
Make it tricky to pick, but I wasn't going to pick the Lions.
No. Me neither.
All right, let's get to our fairway players here. These guys are the ones that we mentioned in our last episodes to keep an eye out, put it in the start, or we can go back a bit further and talk about them, and then we'll get to the players that we have missed on. So go ahead, Kyle. Who's your guy on the fairway?
I'm throwing Hurt back out there. I mean Herbert. Sorry.
Herbert. Yep.
Yeah, Herbert. He's just
Herbs.
He's been throwing the ball obviously pretty consistently. He just hasn't gotten the touchdowns. And repeating myself, he got the touchdowns this week.
They weren't called back, so they tried, but Regan's good boy, Matt Stafford. He made the Bucs look dumb on defense. They also had a guy get hurt, so then they just ran away with the game. So, but yeah, they got outcoached, outplayed. the Rams beating down the Bucs. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My guy, Heineke, baby, top 10. We'll see. We'll see how he keeps that up. Who do you got, Ryan?
Here's a guy that we did not lose faith on who had a big week. It's Ryan Tannehill. So 3 touchdowns, 56 yards rushing. He didn't have like a huge week as far as like passing yards, but he had 3 touchdowns, 56 rushing yards, like 30 fantasy points just about. Landed in 7th this week in fantasy points. So as far as fantasy, it's a very productive week.
Yeah, 29 and a half points. Yeah, ranked 7 right now. So he made it to the top 10. Good for him. I did end up starting him over Daniel Jones. So that was good on me.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
That was a good call. Where Daniel Jones ended up 23rd with 16 and a half points. Ugh, gross.
That's the thing with Jones and Goff. Like, you might pick them up because they're doing great, but you're never confident to start them unless it's a bye week. You know what I mean? You're not. Those guys are bench for sure.
And I'll tell you what, a guy who used to be in that camp, Kirk Cousins. Same thing. Like, you're like, I don't know if I should start Kirk Cousins, and then he put up 35, and then you start him the next week, he put up 8.
Yep. He's on my bench right now for that reason. So I did grab him. He's on my bench.
Mr. Consistency now, though, 4 in a row. 3 in a row. That's a trend.
Yeah.
That's a trend.
Very good. And then our rough players, I'm going to repeat myself kind of in the flip side, though. I just said that I started Ryan Tannehill. That was in one league. I had him 8. And the other one, I started Daniel Jones over Ryan Tannehill because I was going to take the 50-50. I was going to be right on one of them. And that really came back to bite me. So, that was my rough call. Do you guys have that strategy, or do you just roll with you have the same quarterback, the same guys, you're starting them, or do you switch it up so you're bound to be right on one of them, hopefully?
I played same quarterbacks every week.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably in the same boat.
All right. I'm just curious what your strategy is. All right.
Unless he was otherwise. But.
Yeah, I mean, Tannehill hasn't been looking too good, but we knew that he should go off against the Colts, and he did. Daniel Jones was scoring over 30 points leading into this game, and then, of course, I said it in our last episode, he's going to disappoint me. He's setting me up, right? And, of course, he did. Enjoy the waiver wire or the free agency there, Daniel Jones. Kyle, who do you got?
I threw Russell Wilson on there. He had like 18 points. I think I was just talking him up last week, because he was doing great. And, it wasn't super disappointing, but not where he was before. Not what we expected, especially in that game. But
that's what she said.
Ryan, how about you?
How about Tom Brady?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they didn't pull out the win, but 55 passing attempts, had 432 passing yards. Even though he only had 1 touchdown, he also had a little sneak touchdown. So 2 total touchdowns, 400-plus passing yards, so pretty big game for him.
Yeah, true. All right, let's move on to the running backs here. I don't think Regan wrote a guy that he was missing. But this guy, Najee Harris, he had 14 carries for 40 yards. That's good to get him number 1, right? He had, look at this, 19 targets, 14 receptions, 102 yards. Once those guys are getting injured, he's their target machine. Hopefully you have him in PPR because he's going to hopefully carry you to the playoffs. But we'll see. Kareem Hunt, look at this guy, 27.5 points here. 6 receptions, 74 yards. He had 10 carries for 81. And this guy, James Robinson, finally breaking out here. 88 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 for 6 for 46 yards. Did you start James Robinson? Did you guys have him?
I do not have him.
No, I think
I would not have started him.
You wouldn't have. Yeah, Regan had him. So then Ryan's boy here.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get Swifty. You gotta get Swifty in here.
DeAndre Swift. He attempted a pass, but he missed. But 14 carries, 47 yards and a touchdown. 7 for 7 for 60 yards, man. DeAndre Swift, Ryan, take your victory lap.
Oh man, dude, he's got 19 catches over the first 3 games, a receiving touchdown, rushing touchdown. Like, the guy in PPR format's absolute stud. So start him. Don't be afraid to start him. He's gonna pop up in the injury report every single week. Probably don't be concerned about that if it continues to be his groin. And huge week for D Swift.
Yeah, man. Number 3 running back on the year. And this guy out of nowhere, Peyton freaking Barber.
I was waiting. I was waiting
getting
for you
there.
to say something.
Getting there. Number 5 on the week. Are you freaking kidding me?
111 rushing yards.
That is insane. They just kept
touchdown.
feeding him the ball. I don't get it. I think Miami was just like, wait, what? This guy, really? Oh, okay.
Him again? I think he had 3 fumbles that were recovered, like, so far, too. Like, he got lucky yesterday. With the fumbles, at least. I saw him miss the ball twice.
Lucky bounces. Yeah.
Yeah, one right to his fullback, and the other one he was like half in the
Oh,
end
right.
zone.
And didn't he score or something?
Yeah.
Ingold. Yeah.
Ingold got a touchdown too.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And Josh Jacobs just come back, for the love of God.
No,
So I don't have to keep talking about Peyton Barber.
He's not allowed.
I have Peyton Barber on my bench, so
There you go. This guy I want to highlight, number 6 right now, Alexander Madison, 112 yards, and he was 6 for 59 yards through the air. Dude, I tweeted it out. Hopefully you guys notice if you had Dalvin Cook and that you subbed him, got to pay attention during those 4 o'clock games when you have somebody in question leading up to it, and hopefully you had his handcuff leading into the week. A couple of years ago, I traded Sony Michel for Alexander Madison, our dynasty, with you, Ryan. And thank you. That saved my week this week against Connolly. I still have Hurts to go, but I'm down by like 15 points. He has Greg Zuerlein, and I have Quez Watkins in my flex. So hopefully,
Hey, I have a question about that league. I know we'll get into that next episode, but you still think I'm in a rebuild? What, 160 points like 3 weeks in a row?
You're getting lucky. You're getting lucky. It's all right. Saquon Barkley, man, 21 points. Good to see him coming back. I'm still not thinking I missed out, though, those first couple weeks. So I guess good for him. And now with the receivers going down, I don't think we even mentioned that in the Hurt Locker. Didn't Sterling Shepard go out and Slayton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we'll get into it next episode for waivers. But yeah, Saquon, he might be like Najee Harris getting 20 targets during the game. So we'll see.
I'll tell you what, that sucks for Sterling Shepard because he was off to such a hot start.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Gio Bernard, man. 9 receptions for 51 yards and 1 touchdown, 20 points, beating out Derrick Henry. So, Kyle, Giovanni Bernard, he's better than Derrick Henry? Is that right?
I don't know if you remember me pushing him during the draft. So, I did drop him already. Did you? Already,
yeah.
But
I didn't.
I thought this is the role I thought he was going to have. And, of course, week 3, that's where it shows up.
Yeah. I picked him up in our dynasty just as a deep bench play, and I'm like, yeah, I missed it. He's not going to do that again. So that's his only time. I think he got hurt as well. So, yeah, goody. Zach Moss here, number 14 on the week. 3 receptions, but he had 13 carries for 60 yards, and then he had a receiving touchdown. I guess we can get into the next episode, but healthy scratch the first game, and now he's got 3 touchdowns on the year.
What is going on with the running backs this week?
I don't.
What is this? Where are the actual running backs? Where are they? Like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Actual running backs. Let's see. Aaron Jones ranked 15th. Yeah, we got Mike Davis. Remember how we were high on him? Yeah, and ranked 25th. We're getting into our limp players now. Joe freaking Mixon, 10 points. 18 carries for 90 yards, though, but he's got to score. If he doesn't score a touchdown, Mixon's he's not good. So I might have to ship him out on the next big game he has.
the big guys did not run all that much.
No.
I mean, there were a few of them, like Henry still had 28 carries, Kamara had 24 carries, Chubb had 22 carries. 3 of the top 6, Madison, Barber, Sony Michel. And Melvin Gordon was like 9th. Melvin Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look up what episode number it was, but I remember back when we first started, it was our 5 tips, our 5-point stance on what to do in your draft suite the whole season. But one of the drafts we talked about, after the first 8 running backs, it's random stuff like this where the handcuff players do well, guys get injured. So after the first 7 picks, you might as well go wide receiver. Or Travis Kelce. So it's going to be an interesting case study for the zero RB drafting strategy. But moving on, I digress. CAH, good to see him back. 15 points. Of course, he does well, and Kansas City is first time losing or in last place, losing season in years. So good for him. He did fumble again, though. So should I trade high on him here, Kyle, or should I hold on to him? Is he starting?
Is it really a trade high though? I mean, 15 points.
Somebody that's desperate for a running back, probably. Say somebody has Josh Jacobs, or I don't even know what Montgomery did this week.
I attempted a Mixon, Josh Jacobs trade for Miles Sanders and Damian Harris was my end, and I got denied hard, very hard. So, I think he was just in that part of the draft because he still has Mixon. He played Naheem Hines or whatever, and like he did okay, But he was just in that part of the draft where you get a lot of those kind of like extra running backs, So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll have to reflect on that in a couple weeks to see what's working out. Limp players here: Nick Chubb, more like Nick Thin. More like Nick Thin, right? Yeah. No. Okay.
Chubb's
Nick Needle.
Chubb's a limp.
Nick Limp. You guys worried? Because I am. Let's see. Regan wrote here. You want to read that, Kyle?
Yeah, I can read it. He is averaging 87 yards a game. He had 3 touchdowns coming into week 3. I think he is somewhat TD dependent, but there is way too much upside to bench him. He is a goal line back and somehow a good Browns team. So, yeah, I don't know what I just read, but just kidding, Matt. Matt, if you're listening, I'm joking. You did a great job. You spelled everything
correctly.
Good.
It was good. Yeah, sometimes I have to go in and fix that. Kareem Hunt just was ball hog. He was taking him, breaking tackles. So this guy here, Myles Gaskin. I know. It's a trend. Because
Chubb is touchdown dependent. Like he still had 22 carries. He just didn't rush for over 100 yards, and he didn't get a touchdown. And that's what you're gonna get. He still had a decent game. Still averaged almost 4 yards a carry, which is okay. But Kareem Hunt's gonna be involved more in the passing game.
8 points. That's not a decent game.
It's not a decent game, but it's like football wise, 84 yards is an okay performance. Fantasy wise, you need a touchdown. If you're not going to be involved in the passing game, you need to score touchdowns. He didn't score a touchdown.
Nick Chubb should get 87 yards rolling out of bed. Come on. Myles Gaskin. This is depressing. Number 29 on the week with 10 points here. Yeah. Where you drafted him, like 5th round, 6th round, you're hoping that you get out into the running back 2 consistently with a running back 1 floor or a ceiling, rather. Excuse me. I'd say that next time he has a decent game, he's a package trade candidate. Try to upgrade at receiver with somebody that has a lot of receivers because I just don't think they're utilizing him well. They're not giving him enough opportunities. Freaking Malcolm Brown taking a touchdown run from him, taking that opportunity away. I don't know. I'm a bit worried. We were pretty high on Gaskin during the offseason, and then
we's a strong word.
Ryan and I.
I was high on him, yes.
Yeah, Ryan and I were. Anybody you guys want to talk touch on any limp players here? You want to touch on any limp players? Or you
I think
good?
with Gaskin too. Didn't Brisket steal a touchdown as well? So
Yeah.
it was a passing play, but he stole a touchdown. If you got him in there, he's
No.
more than likely to do a little bit of running too. So
Mm-hmm.
until Tua's back.
Yeah, Brisket had to run it in, so. Yeah.
I thought he said brisket too.
I said,
Yeah.
did I say biscuit or brisket?
I don't know.
Brisket?
Biscuit.
I don't know.
Brisket.
I don't even know how to say his
It
name
works.
right now. Jacoby.
Yeah.
Either way, both of those things sound fantastic right now.
That was a nice pass, though, to Will Fuller. Nice route, rather, by Will Fuller. Looping in. Looked like Edelman out there. Nice touchdown grab from him.
Yeah, so
I have one limp guy to touch on.
Yeah, please touch that limp guy.
Sure thing. Devin
low.
Singletary. How about a nice little tease for you? He's like, 11 points, 17 points. You're just waiting for it because he's Devin Singletary. 3 points. You know who outscored Devin Singletary?
Who
Christian
outscored
McCaffrey.
him?
Yeah.
Who went out in the first quarter?
First quarter.
Yeah. Oh, man. That sucks.
I actually have a limp too, and maybe Ryan, you probably watched the Patriots game. You can explain to me what happened to Damian Harris. Where did he go? Especially with James White getting hurt, like I figured, he's gonna get some more snaps here. He got 3 points. Ran the ball 6 times.
Carries, dude.
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. That game was a hot mess, dude. I couldn't even begin to explain it.
Was he handing water out on the sideline? Was he too busy doing like some coaching? Where was he?
I don't know. Like, what went down? And Belichick was like, let's put in Brandon Bolden, who has been part of the team for, 5 years and has literally done nothing for those 5 years.
Besides grow his hair, like
You're just right. Yeah. Like, you're not going to run Harris anymore? What are you doing? What do you do? I don't know.
That is reception leader out of the backfield, Brandon Bolden. Team.
Yes. Yep.
That's why I don't trust the Patriots running backs.
You can't. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get into our fairway players here for the running backs. Who do you got, Ryan?
For a fairway player, I'm going to say James White. I think I really hit on him. Never mind.
It looked like it would have been a good play. It looked like it would have been a good play.
I will say, I did mention that I would start James Robinson over a few different running backs last week. I thought he was in for a big game because Dalvin, I think was it Dalvin Cook, who had a big game against Arizona with like 131 yards. So I figured it was James Robinson's time to put up some fantasy points. He did, and I'll take the win on that, even though I don't have him.
Yeah, it's all right. You made the call. Kyle, you got anything?
Maybe the Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey saga that I started, where I said, hey, Henry won.
No.
He's the number one running back. I wouldn't draft Christian McCaffrey because he's going to get hurt. And then he gets hurt. Derrick Henry.
So you're taking a victory lap on
Absolutely.
injuries.
If
Okay.
you say somebody's going to get hurt and that's why you're picking somebody else and it happens, it happens. That's a number one draft pick. That's a huge spot. I think things are going to change. Things are going to change. Yeah, but it's going to McCaffrey for obvious reasons. But if he can't finish the season, it's going to change next year. Won't be number one.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
We have to take that ability away from him. We need to give it to somebody.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like Ryan.
Perfect. I'm in. I'm gonna have my own competing blurps.
Mm-hmm. Regan's guy, James Conner, he mentioned it. Ryan and I laughed at him. They said they might feed him the ball when they run up the score and just run out the clock. And I forgot to look up his stats here. What did he have?
2 touchdowns. That's all I know.
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
I told my friend to drop James Conner before the game.
Ooh.
Good advice.
And
That's not too bad.
To pick up my limb player for the week.
He had 18 points, 11 carries, 43 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 1 reception for 10 yards. That's not that bad. I told some guy I coach with, he's like, gosh, I start Saints defense or New England's defense? I was like, start New England. James Winston's bound to throw a pick 6 or something. I screwed him out of the win. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry.
Happens, man. Listen, like you said, you could take our tips. You don't have to.
You don't have to. But I did.
Overall, they're pretty okay.
I did pick the Saints to win, so I got that one right. At least I got one right.
You also picked Miami to win, so
I did. Nyheim Hines, I picked my team to win. Shocker. Nyheim Hines said he was a good flex play. He got in the end zone, man. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. I need Jonathan Taylor to do well. That's a freaking limp player if I've ever seen one.
Did people not learn from last year with Jonathan Taylor? Same thing.
No,
Same
I know.
thing.
I'm being patient.
It's like a David Montgomery. Like I'm gonna turn it on against real shit teams, and when I play any kind of like decent team, I'm going limp for sure.
For sure. Rough players here. I said James Robinson, said wait and see. That was a bad call. I hope nobody was listening. I didn't expect that. I don't think anybody was expecting him to be number 3 on the week. So, good for him. Who you got, Ryan?
2 guys. I hope I don't take one of Kyle's. How about Peyton Barber? I'm like, Regan was like, what about Peyton Barber? Should I play? I was like, F no, drop him. He is Peyton Barber. He's going to average 2.5 yards a carry. He's not going to do anything. Kenyon Drake's the guy. What do you have? 21 carries, 103 yards, and touchdowns. I'm like, what the fuck, Peyton Barber? Between him and James Conner, I really, I was like, 2 guys I would cut and 2 guys who finished in the top 12, 15, something like that.
That's not that bad. I made a really bad call with receivers, which we'll get into. The receivers here. Mike Williams, freaking 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. They threw that last one at the last second. I'm going against Connolly, and he has. I'm like, what the hell? Come on. You guys are going to win. And Tony Romo's just like, good pass, good catch. I don't know why they did that. Remind me about my leftovers when we get there, about commentating. When we get to leftovers, for those that haven't listened to the podcast, we have a leftover thought at the end of the episode. So you might want to stick around. It's pretty random stuff that comes out of those leftovers. You open it up and you forgot what you ordered drunk that night. You're like, oh, that's right. I have these. Wide receivers. Mike Williams, Devontae Adams. What do you get? Hit? Then quick concussion test. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Go back in. And friggin' 12 receptions, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp. He sucks.
Cooper Kupp.
He couldn't get to number 1. Come on.
That Jerry Jeudy trade every day. I'm like, Cooper Kupp.
Yep. 9 receptions, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, my boy, 9 for 11, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. This is the one I missed on. Emmanuel Sanders, 5 receptions, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Really hurting Stefon Diggs, so I'm pissed at Emmanuel Sanders. Go away. Your time's over. But be patient.
Didn't Cole Beasley have a pretty good game, too?
They all did. Yeah. Except Stefon Diggs. He did not have that good of a game. This guy... I'm going to save him for my rough, so we'll get that later. But number 9, Deshaun Jackson. What year is it? 2012 here, Ryan?
It might be, dude. I don't know. This guy never seems to go away, I'll tell you. He's always good for one of these 3 receptions for 120 yards and a touchdown.
I know. He had 21 points on the week. And then A.J. Green here, 16 points. Kyle, what year is it? 2012?
I think it's 2012.
It's something like that.
Well, I know. Yeah, Josh Gordon's coming back to the league. Yeah, I think it's.
Oh my god!
It's got to be 2012.
If any of you guys pick up Josh Gordon, I will personally drive over there and slap you. Don't do it. Yeah, Cole Beasley here, number 10 on the week here. Kyle, 11 for 13, 98 yards. Good for him.
Yeah.
What is it? 2012.
He didn't do that good in 2012.
He wasn't that
I didn't.
I don't even know how long he's been playing.
Was that with Tony Romo?
9 years. 9 years for him. So he wasn't in the league, guys. Come on.
That was
That was his 12 plus 9 is 21, dude.
That was his rookie year. All right. Just yeah. Okay. Rookie year. Excuse me.
Kids, man.
he wasn't in the league, you idiots.
I don't know. Barely in the league. Undrafted. He was undrafted and then he joined the next year. All right. Never mind. So yeah, those are some studly hard players. You guys want to touch on anybody? In the hard
players?
section?
How about Hunter Renfrow? I mean,
yeah, that's as hard.
Was he wide receiver 15? But
number 15
for a flex play here, he's had a lot of targets in 3 games. He's had, hang on one sec, 9 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets. So he seems to be a pretty consistent flex play. Get you some points, PPR.
Yeah, good for him.
He's a great tool for Derek Carr, honestly. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, let me throw it to the ground 5 yards in front of him. Let's see what happens. And he, like, dives out and grabs it. Like, you could throw it any which way to Renfrow, and it's going to work. So, I like him. Good play.
Yeah.
Good play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for him.
I think I got one.
Yeah, please.
Christian Kirk,
man. Yeah, if you picked him up, number 20 on the week. 7 for 8, 104 yards.
Yeah.
So that's really hurting DeAndre Hopkins. He's not even in the top 30.
Wasn't he out? Was he injured?
He was questionable leading up to it, but he wasn't out, was he?
I didn't watch the game, but I almost played Kirk because Hopkins was questionable. Then I didn't do it. I didn't heed Regan's advice, and I should have. I definitely should have. I have him on my bench though, so proud of that.
There you go.
A touchdown would have put him way over the edge, though. Obviously.
Yeah, I guess I can use that too for one of my rough players. I freaking started Rondell Moore. I chased the points. Yeah, that was not good. He almost got into the end zone, but they tackled him just short. So, oh well. But yeah, for our limp players here, Calvin Ridley, 14 points. You drafted him to be number 1. Where do we go from here, Ryan? Calvin Ridley, that entire Atlanta offense is not producing like we thought. We got to move along quicker here. But, yeah, we'll get to the tight ends. I don't know. It sucks. You got to keep on playing him, obviously. But he's not going to crack your top 1 week in, week out.
I think you're seeing the effects of having a guy like Julio Jones on the other side of the field taking away pressure away from you. And now Calvin Ridley's that guy, and they don't have a clear-cut number 2. So, yeah, he's getting double-teamed. They can't get him the ball. He's not racking up the points you need him to rack up.
It's not working for A.J. Brown, though, having Julio on the other side of the field. But
well, A.J. Brown
he's got some things going on.
Yeah.
It should, in theory. So
when Derrick Henry runs the ball 40 times, and the next game you get hurt in the first quarter, those two things will hurt you a little bit.
I wouldn't give up on Ridley so quick, though. That Atlanta might be figuring things out. They get their first win. Things might happen now. They might change up a little bit. So
he's doing okay. He's in double digits every week. He's not a total bust, but he's just not exceeding expectations or even meeting them.
He's not producing where his ADP was, so I'm just saying that's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Do we wait for him to have a big week and then trade him?
Possibly if you have another need, but I think Kyle's right. I think you just commit to him and see what happens, and hope that eventually he looks like he did last year.
All right. Fairway players here. Regan, of course. Cooper Kupp, he's been high on him all off season rather. I'm not going to read what he says. Too many typos in there. I'm confusing myself reading it. DK Metcalf, I said you'd be bitching, and they were going to force feed him the ball, and they did. He did well. What was he on the week? Number 6. So good on him. 107 yards and a touchdown off 6 receptions. Who's your fairway player here, Ryan?
Can I just pick Cooper Kupp every week? Is that
sure. Go ahead.
is that allowed?
Let's dig a little deeper.
I know.
All right. I think I can do that. You know what? I'm gonna say here, Devontae Adams, and I know it's an easy go-to as well. But he's heading in the right direction. Wide receiver 1. He finally looked like a wide receiver 1 this week. So Devontae Adams. You can't get this anywhere else, folks.
He did pretty well the week before too, but cool. Kyle, who do you got? Ruggs?
Ruggs would be a good one. I was actually just going to go off based off what I said last week. I think it was Marvin Jones Jr. He got double digits, so it's not that bad. It's kind of like borderline fairway. So he's still getting the targets. He's still getting the catches, but he just needs a little.
Did you or Regan mention AJ Green because of DeAndre Hopkins? I can't remember.
I did not.
Yeah, so it must have been Regan, 112 yards, AJ Green. So I was gonna say that would have been your guy.
Probably Regan.
Christian Kirk was my guy.
Christian Kirk was here.
Yeah,
all right.
That was my guy.
Regan was probably like, "Hey, should I play AJ Green?" And Mac and I are probably like, "No, don't play AJ Green. What are you doing, dude?
Do it.
Dummy."
Yeah,
can I get a rebuttal? I want a.
Go ahead.
I want a mulligan.
We got all the time in the world.
Jalen Waddle. I've been very consistent with playing Jalen Waddle, and he had 12 catches for 58 yards.
Yeah.
Ryan, who is our who did we
number 19 on the week? So
who did we sit for Ruggs this week? Me and you secretly sat somebody for Ruggs.
Oh, we did sit Cole Beasley.
Oh.
It didn't work. But Ruggs, he did well. He did enough. He did everything we needed him to.
Wait, you guys were talking behind our backs? Wow.
Yeah, we set the lineup this week.
We showed up on time to the video meeting and discussed it pre-hint. So
I got it.
Yeah.
You mean tonight?
No, last week.
But you started this weekend? Oh, okay. Because I was here.
We talked about next week.
When your computer froze.
Before this episode, so.
Yeah. At least you started Sam Darnold. Yeah, rough players. Emmanuel Sanders. This is the guy I was saying I had to talk about. Number 5 on the week. 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Good for you.
I dropped him. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I did too. I just thought, hey. Oh, okay. Well, you can pick him up now. Regan's was Brandon Cooks. He's talking trash about me, so I'm not going to read it. Ryan, what do you got?
You know what? We haven't brought this guy up this year, but Laviska Shenault has been a huge disappointment this year, coming off a decent year last year. And people were high on him. People were at like DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, who should we take? And, maybe neither, but Laviska Shenault is not doing well. 1 point last week, 4 catches for 48 yards this week, which is fine, but again, not meeting expectations.
I gotcha. You got anybody, Kyle? Or?
For the rough, absolutely. KJ Osborne. 2 for 2, 26 yards. Put him in my flex. I was so pumped. I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, we'll get to the reason why that happened. But I actually want to go back because Regan said he was giving me credit. Brandon Cooks for the rough. He's like, this is the last time I give Matt credit on this. He is a must start the rest of the season, and I'm pumped to actually have him on my team. And he says, thanks for talking me into it, Mac. I think he's confusing me with somebody else because I was saying don't start him because I didn't trust Davis Mills, but I'll take the credit anyway.
I think he's talking about draft time.
Yes.
Oh, draft.
Yeah, you said to draft him. Yeah.
Oh, I said to. Because he's the number 1 on the team. He will be a valuable player. That is all right. Yeah, all offseason.
Who drafted him? Who played him?
You drafted him in the first pick of the 5th round, 6th round, whatever.
6th or 7th. Get him. Hey, he's been that quality, dude. He's been very consistent.
We agreed on double-digit rounds, and you reached. Anyway.
Hey, Adam Thielen, real quick, 4 touchdowns so far.
Oh my God, no! Shut up! I didn't want Regan wasn't here, so I didn't have to bring it up. What did I say? He's not going to get double-digit touchdowns? Yeah, that's wrong.
And we agreed on that.
So if you are listening to this podcast and just this episode, you're like, man, where's this Regan kid? I want to listen to him.
Yeah, you should apparently. You
He'll be
should.
back next week, hopefully. He wins a lot, so yeah, you should listen to him. 12 players, the 12 top 12. I'll do the top 5. Hit and choose. We're running out of time here. Tyler Conklin, 20 points at tight end. He's the number one. How ridiculous is that? That's why your Osborne guy didn't do well, Kyle. He was hogging all the targets here.
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki, number 2. He beats out Travis Kelce. 18.5 points for Mike Gesicki. Look at that. Travis Kelce, number 3. Wow.
I saw him on the waiver wire. That's weird.
Mike Gesicki?
Yeah.
It is weird.
Very strange.
It is weird. I have in that league with you, I have Higbee, so I don't need him. George Kittle, look at him. 92 yards off 7 receptions. Nice of him. Mark Andrews, 109 yards off the 5. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Tyler Higbee, I said 5 for 5, 40 yards and a touchdown. Good for him. Guy I want to highlight here, Pat Freiermuth. If you go back to episode 2 or 3, whatever it is, most impactful rookies. Now with these wide receivers dropping, pick up I'll give you a sneak peek, I guess, of the waiver wires. I was going to save it for next one. But Pat Freiermuth, if you are streaming tight ends, is a very consistent, I guess, as of now, tight end to stream until he falls off a cliff. So we'll see.
It'll be next week because you just mentioned
it. Could be next week. Probably will be. And then
Just
Darren Waller.
man.
Wow. Darren Waller, number 11. Jeez, what's up with your boy here, Kyle? Ugh.
Yeah.
Miami's defense was just like, yeah, we're going to shut him down, but Renfro can catch all the targets. That's fine. We won't worry about that. We'll let Peyton Barber run all over us. That's okay.
He
Just
honestly
don't let
had
Waller get in the end zone.
There was a couple of miscommunications between him and Carr too. There was one where he should have had a touchdown. He beat the defense, but then Derek Carr threw over his right shoulder instead of his left. So
I gotcha.
that would have put him a little bit over. There was a couple plays like that, but yeah, disappointing past 2 weeks. I think the defenses are just all over him. So
I gotcha. You guys got any hard players you want to talk about, or?
Yeah, I've been all over Tyler Conklin all year.
Yes,
no one else.
No, you were all over Irv Smith, though. And you would think when he went down, you would think the replacement, Tyler Conklin, Chris Herndon, somebody's going to break out, right?
Conklin hasn't been. He broke out 1 week. We'll see what happens. Last 2 weeks.
I know. Everybody's going to grab him. I'm not chasing these points. Yeah, I guess limp players here. Rob Gronkowski, he got hit in the ribs, though. He went out for a little bit. But he didn't break double-digit points. So, it was bound to happen.
I have one, and it's going to be Kyle's rough, too. So I'm gonna take that from him. How about Hunter Henry?
Oh, my God.
Outscored this week by Lee Smith and Jody Fortson.
if you look at Hunter Henry, he's very soft at the beginning, but he's growing. He's growing into a hard player. He's getting there. I think Jonnu Smith. He's had a couple of drops, right?
Well,
I think the tides are changing to Hunter Henry's benefit. I think he'll be a hard player 2 to 3 weeks from now.
He has gone up every single week. Week 1, he was 6.1 points. Week 2, he was 6.2 points.
I feel like Bill's going to be here's the tight ends, Tampa. Like Tom Brady, here's the tight ends you wanted. And next week's going to be big for both of those tight ends, I think.
He's a grower, not a shower?
Yeah, he is a definite grower.
Let's try to step into that. All right, limp players here. TJ Hawkinson, 3 points. I was going to say, what the fuck? Is this a typo here? 2 targets. Why? You want to win the game? You might want to throw the Hawkinson more. Noah Fant, 3 points. Noah Fant, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Definitely.
You guys are all over him last week, right?
Yeah, you would think that he would perform well, and then Hamler got hurt too. So you thought that Fant would get more targets, but
Sutton had a bad game too. It's just a bad game for Teddy B.
Yeah. And they just didn't have to try either. It was the Jets. So, game script, you might have to look at that and be like, maybe they're just destroying the Jets and they're not going to get the targets. So, I don't know. Interesting to take a deeper dive into that. We might have to throw out another episode if we have the time. Fairway players. I already mentioned Pat Fairmouth. So, who do you guys got on the fairway for your tight ends?
Fairway. I mean, I would probably say Austin Hooper last week. We talked about playing him. Decent game. 10 points all around. Got a touchdown. Yep. And might be a trend moving forward without Jarvis Landry. So.
Got anybody, Kyle?
No, I don't.
All right.
Well, yeah. You want me to read Matt's? TJ Hawkinson? Am I saying that right?
No, that's the limp.
That's
the rough.
limp.
Yeah, we were in the fairway. You can go ahead, lead off with the rough there. TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Matt talked him up too much. I think even the best have down weeks.
So you can't read us.
Definitely better days to come. If you combine his terrible writing and my awful reading skills, it's a no-win. It's a definite mismatch there.
And then my homeschooled math. It's like if I don't have 10 years of cord plus 7 carrots, how much I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm lost. So.
We remember 2012 to 2021.
You're right. I was looking college football. I was looking ahead at the 2022 draft, and that's what threw me off, right? Yeah.
When I Cole Beasley undrafted, thinking about drafts. Yep, I got you.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts, my rough guy. The whole offense, like I said before, is in trouble. And for those of us that spent a 5th-round pick on Kyle Pitts, we are in trouble. We have to play him. We're in rough shape. I don't know what to do. The one league I have him in, I picked up Tunyon, but then he only had 1 target last night. So it's like, okay, who do I start next week? I'm going to have to roll with Pitts. I don't know. If he's available, I might grab him. Because Biscuit loves throwing to Gesicki.
And Will Fuller.
Ryan, you got anybody?
No, I think we could probably move on and just get to the leftovers.
All right. If you made it this far in the episode with us, we appreciate it. If you could just follow, and subscribe to our videos and podcast channels, we'd really appreciate it. If you leave us a review, love the episodes, and a 5-star review on Apple. I'm not really sure how all that works. It depends on what platform you're using. But and share our tips with your friends and family. Our tips are for everybody who loves fantasy football. Keep hitting us up, and we'll help you, hopefully, win your weeks. For the next 20 years, we guarantee it. With the leftovers, Kyle, you got anything?
I was thinking. I was definitely thinking as a platform for us to. I've said this from the beginning. We should be using TikTok, and I want to see how many likes on this video for Ryan to start a TikTok for us. I just think it's killer with the live updates. It's gonna a lot of views. Trust me, it's gonna work.
Well, if we're going the over/under on our likes for YouTube, I think 3 likes, that would be 300%.
If us like it doesn't count, Kyle. You can't log into other YouTube channels and
I have 17 Gmail accounts. So.
Leave us a like and a comment on the YouTube video if you want Ryan to start a TikTok channel. I refuse.
Daily Haynes' briefs. I think it would kill it. Boy. Name the boom.
That sounds like a job for the producer. So we'll leave that to you. Ryan, what do you got for?
I'll talk Ryan into it.
For leftover.
Here's 4 of your 5 undefeated NFL teams: the Las Vegas Raiders, the Denver Broncos, the Carolina Panthers, and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
Who predicted that?
Can you say the first one again? I predicted that one.
Nobody can say Las Vegas, so I'll just say Oakland Raiders.
Yep, there we go.
Oakland Raiders.
Yeah,
gotta get one in.
We got 2 in. You said it earlier.
Did I?
Go to the playback, man.
Did I really? You guys
Definitely
didn't
did.
correct me?
Nope. I just laughed and laughed.
Because I was, come on, I didn't really do that. I suck. I was like trying to do it as a joke, and I'm like, no, don't be stupid. I don't have Regan here. He's on my Mississippi. And there I go, dropping the ball. Yeah, well, with my leftovers, if you watch the Vikings, I was watching Red Zone, so it was Vikings and Titans game, and Mark Sanchez commentating. God awful. Oh my God. He kind of, because we just recently talked about him, Norm Macdonald. He kind of sounds like Norm Macdonald, but he's unfunny.
Ooh.
And he's just like trying to make excuses for Kirk Cousins and a kind of off target behind Justin Jefferson throw. And he's just like, oh yeah, because he didn't want to throw it into the defender, and like the defenders are behind him, so they're like, show the replay. Well, you see that guy up top there, like he didn't want to throw it to him. It's like, throw it outside towards the sideline, and he won't get it. Lead your receiver. I just don't get why they just grab anybody. Anybody can be a commentator now. It's ridiculous.
That's just from Tony Romo. Like, people liking that Tony Romo knows the game and explains it to you. For all those people who don't know football very well, like him explaining it, so they're like, oh yeah, let's just throw another quarterback in there. He'll explain things like defenses and stuff, and then go butt fumble, and that's where you end up.
Yeah, I was gonna say after that, like, you should never have a job in the business. But yeah, it was bad.
I don't love Tony Romo as a commentator, by the way.
Did I say they were playing the Titans? I meant the Seahawks.
Yeah,
My bad.
We're just going
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
I'm all about the Manning brothers.
Thank God.
Every Monday night game.
Every Monday night game, they will.
If they bring in a different Manning brother besides Eli, I'll be all in too.
Yeah, Eli's a little rough. He's a little rough.
He struggles. He's like,
but it's kind of fun to watch.
Cue making fun of Peyton's forehead. Take 5.
Yeah, that's why they can't do it so much, because they'll run out of material real quick. Kind of like.
Yes, they're fantastic though. I like that.
Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. Good for them. Yeah, I don't know how to really close out this episode. We got too long. Thanks for filling in, Kyle. We always know how you like filling in things.
With just the tip.
Exactly. See you, Ryan. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.